Do you remember Slugterra from Tom Critic? I do, but I don't know about anyone else, so let's go with it. Nope. Okay, that was weird. I thought it was muted for a sec, but it actually wasn't.
Slugterra released in the year the world was supposed to end, 2012, and ran for a total of 65 episodes, until the show concluded in 2015. The show revolved around people firing different slugs at each other, which transform at high velocity, gaining special abilities. Being one of the endless Pokemon clones should have caused this show to flop horribly, but
Wait, was it a clone meant for Pokemon? Now that I think about it, it actually would make a lot of sense if it was meant to be a show clone for Pokemon, because I genuinely did not know that. All I know from Slugterra is that it literally just slugs just flowing at each other with crazy abilities, which I do love so much as a kid, but I'm surprised it was like that.
But from what I've gathered, this show was actually a pretty big hit. The classic toys and mobile games would spawn from this IP, which
Never played the mobile games in my life. However, I did see the toys. So jealous could I get one. But hey, the beggars can't be choosers at the end of the day. But hey, who knows about that?
is pretty rare for a show of this nature. But the question always remains, is it nostalgia gaslighting everyone into thinking these shows
Okay, let me just see his background for a second. I don't remember these. There's Groot, there's Iron Man. Oh, it's a YouTube logo. God damn, that's the old one. Okay. Ninjago Time. Wow, now speaking of the Hero Factory sets, that's actually, instead of like DVDs, that's actually quite cool. Which is, you lucky bastard.
are better than they really are? Or does it join that catalogue of shows that age like fine wine? Let's check it out. Slugterra focus
I'm sorry. Was that meant to be audio saying Slugterra? I remember the theme song. But generally, I remember the theme song for being Slugterra! Like, like, sometimes I have those memories that just stick to my brain. Only I forget until it's brought up again. Like, oh yeah, I remember immediately.
focuses on Eli Shane as he travels to a world beneath the surface full of little creatures known as slugs. And other creatures like mole men, trolls, and Shadow Clan, which sound like something out of a Discord role-playing server. Eli is the latest in a long line of Shanes who act as the guardians of Slugterra, and now has to fill his dad's shoes since he went missing. And the cavern
If I'm not mistaken, Shane was, I think he was 15 or 14 when he joined this. Like, this dude did not even reach his adult years until his dad vanished and he had to come in. And it's like, wow, that's funny. It's they have to grow fast.
of Slugterra are gonna need someone like that, since the evil Dr. Black is up to some evil schemes. And to top it all off, Black has corrupted slugs. The premise alone is very solid, and feels like something out of an anime. Eli spends the first season learning everything about this strange new world, and encountering new slugs to use. He naturally progresses into that hero role, as he slowly builds a reputation for himself. The journey feels nice and smooth, and by the end, you feel satisfied with his character arc. It's a shame though that Eli never really reunites with his father. There is a brief moment in season 2 where the two do come together for a little bit, until Will Shane disappears again, but then
For a reason to protect his son, but it's also like, damn, we just spent the first season just having Shane go through this world, learn this whole thing, just for this, just to finally meet his dad for the first time in quite a while. Man disappears again. For good reason this time, but he didn't want to disappear, but now we have to deal with the fact that this happened again.
and that's it. We never see him again, even with Eli making a point to find him. It's disappointing, yeah, because that was Eli's entire goal. But forget that, we got a wacky talking mole! Eli has an entire entourage helping him protect the caverns, and they are all just fine. Actually no, Trixie and Cord are fine. But I can't stand Pronto. Oh,
Yeah, that's the one character that I find very funny in a nutshell, because Pronto is he's odd. Like, he's the one member of the team that I'm like, okay, for the dynamic to work, I see why he's needed. But it's also like, why are you here? Like, why are you here doing this at all?
Oh my god. This little purple bastard just gets on my nerves so much, it's not even funny. And that's exactly how the character is in general. He's meant to be a comedy relief character. But instead, it feels like he's just trying to rage bait me. And it's working! This guy just keeps talking about nonsense all the time. And trust me, I know nonsense. I speak it all the damn time. He has this running joke, I guess you would call it, where he keeps talking about how good he is at everything, and it gets so old after the first time. And the main slug he uses is one that farts!
I forgot that's his. Which, for a distraction, is good, but also like, wow, you're still useless. Like, why are you here? Like,
I was seriously struggling to get through this show at one point, solely thanks to this chud. Rant over. On the other hand, I found Eli to be a pretty decent MC to follow. Watching him learn the ropes of this world is fun, but the other developments he has are decent as well. He takes the time to bond with his slugs and treats them like friends instead of ammo like everyone else does. In turn, he uses the same slugs a lot more frequently, which explains how Eli is able to beat most common slingers in fights. It would be jarring to see
which actually does make sense because he's bonded with his slugs so much that he knows them and their abilities, so he's strategic as to who he fires. He does fire a lot of the same slugs, but sometimes he would only do that because that's the only ones he had. I remember when he started, like, having burpee was one thing. He also had two ones that were just completely useless in his first fight. And then he finally won by using burpee so strategically. That's how I remember it. Like, I think it was episode 1 or 2. I think it was the first one.
Eli immediately start kicking ass when he just started. Burpee is Eli's Pikachu for the show, and the two work
Yes.
well as a pairing. Burpee belongs to Will Shane, so he is a powerhouse in the slug world. Also why Eli wins most fights. The Shadow Clan I mentioned earlier are an important partner of the Shane gang, thanks to Eli being a chill, nonchalant guy. They are the reason a lot of the lore is being dropped, and I think them acting as the protector of the slugs matches well with Eli being the protector of everyone. Glad we established Eli's a real one. Trixie and Cord are fun enough companions to have. Trixie wants to record everything, which is a character trait that gets completely dropped as the series goes on. And
Which is sad, and also it's kind of real. It's kind of funny because of how nowadays people really like to record a lot of things happen, and with that becomes, especially with content, which is what I'm doing right now. So it's very interesting that she had that type of character trait back in 2012, which is, yeah. I know I mentioned that I feel old considering it's 14 years ago, but genuinely, that is a good character trait to have, especially during this specific time.
Cord is the mechanic of the crew, upgrading everyone's gear and coming up with new stuff to build. Besides Eli, Cord is probably the most important feeling guy out of everyone, due to his role, but he never gets anything important to do. None of these side characters get a faint trace of a character arc, or backstory, or episode about them, so there's really zero reason to like any of them. The funny part is that some slugs actually get more spotlight than the main characters. There is a rare episode every now and again that revolves around specific slugs, which I will say does work to make us like them more. You can see where the Pokemon inspiration starts coming in, because most of Eli's slugs get names, so they'd be more marketable. I also have a bunch of little slugs behind me here.
Yeah, seriously, I saw it under YouTube logo, but I didn't acknowledge it for now. Like, unless I did acknowledge it like a few seconds ago, and I completely forgot for some reason. Literally, he has a lot of the slugs here, which I didn't really see as much. Which explains I didn't see this. Tom's the train? God damn, man. What the heck?
So I can definitely tell you their names. There's Burpee, obviously, Jules, Doc, Banger, Spinner. Wow, the names got very uncreative after a while, huh? Season 2 introduced the elemental slugs, which all slugs stem from. Eli just added them all to the collection, but hardly uses them in the following seasons. And I'm talking 1 or 2 times, which is underwhelming after all the hype. And this show loves to drop aspects like this to make the situation the group get in more tense. Because if they didn't, they would absolute steamroll everyone. For instance, Eli learns about the fusion shot, which combines 2 slugs' abilities when fired at the same time. He gets a new blast upgrade and spends a few episodes mastering it.
I completely forgot about the fusion blaster. That's the one blaster throughout the show I completely forgot about. I forgot about that. Like, I remember the blasters. I remember the first one he had. The orange one is obviously his main one, but I remember he had one before that. But also I remembered, I forgot which, I forgot which one he also had. But then again, that's the fusion blaster. I completely forgot he had this one specifically. It's very odd.
A good concept. Like, this is awesome. And helps spice up the slug's powers. But then again, Eli seems to forget about this after season 1. It's just annoying that Eli learns and gains all these new abilities, but stops using them after a while. Slug Fu is another addition to the list, which allows Eli to have more precise control over the slugs. It's also a good inclusion, and is used a lot more afterwards. So
Oh, it's like the fusion. It's like the fusion thing from like Pokemon in Sun and Moon, and I believe Sun and Moon, the Adventures one, like Sun and Moon region with Aloha, like where it's like this. Like I remember that, so probably it's like a reference to this.
I can't hate it. It was very vague before how the slugs knew what Eli wanted them to do when he just shoots them. He learns this new technique from a new character joining the Shane gang in season 2. Junji comes from the Eastern Caverns, another set of caverns from the ones we've been seeing so far. He first appears being mind-controlled by a Gould
Yeah, I remember this one here.
Goondok. What a name. The same slug as Doc. See, Doc is a healer slug, so the corrupted version would be able to corrupt others. So Eli and friends stop the goon for a bit. They call it that, not me.
Whatever.
The Goon Slug. So we found out where Goon originated from. It's from the slug and specifically.
It was. I'm not going back to sleep with my head full of goon.
And Junjay
God damn, I love this show so much. Thank God for many things, huh?
is released from his control and agrees to help the Shane gang. And then season 3 happens, where the show basically becomes about Junjay. The gang go to the Eastern Caverns where chaos is rampant. Junjay was the guardian of these caverns but became the Dark Slinger and caused mayhem for 20 years. So now he has to set things right. I enjoyed that.
I don't think I watched season 3 because I don't even remember nor even think about ever watching that. What?
Junjay got a satisfying character arc compared to the other nothing burger characters. But I was a little put off how sidelined Eli was. He slipped into the background when everything became about Junjay. The show was about him trying to find his father, but besides a little interaction, we never see this paid off. Even by the end of the last episode, nothing was wrapped up, basically because the show got cancelled. That was the overarching story though, so lucky the season storylines get paid off. I actually need to talk about them since they dip in quality. So season 1 is the longest with 39 episodes that follow.
Wait. It was 39 episodes? Okay, so what about the following season episodes then? If it's 39 here, then what's the following?
Eli's arrival to Slugterra and fighting Dr. Black. In between the conflict, episodes see the Shane gang handle different threats and learn more about the world and its people. The bigger lore reveals were sprinkled throughout, and the ending confrontation with Black was very underwhelming. It just seemed like every other time they stopped his plans. Except this time,
I forget the style of animation can create some funny jump scares sometimes for myself. Like, especially with Black just now, I just thought, damn, what the fuck happened?
he never really came back.
I know. There's a lot more in that jar than you think. Yes. I have been doing it less, though. Even though I just did that 3 times. Let's ignore that. We're going to be doing it less. And I can't do any punishments because I'm on a different place. It's just the comfortable place where my head goes to dreams, should say.
I can't say I was ever bored while watching. With every episode having some interesting element, I did start to get a little tired of it near the end. Probably because the plot was stalling to a halt at the finish line. Then season 2 came around, and I was excited for something new to bite into. I was kind of right. Season Dose had that evil slug I was talking about before, and had him and the Shane gang racing to collect the elementals. I was into it a good amount, and with only 7 episodes, it never had time to become boring. Dr. Black appears again after apparently hitting the gym, and the goon gets
Bro, this man looks like Bane. Like, what is this? This man looks like Bane. No, what is this? Like, this man's arm is the size of my table. Like, what in the? Oh, I nearly got there, but what? Like, it seriously is the size of someone's head. Like, genuinely.
Dr. Black appears again after apparently hitting the gym, and the goon gets a new host in the form of Will Shane. Great reveal since he was important for the plot, and at least Eli got a moment with him, because he ended up sacrificing himself to stop the goon and Black. The epic
You're gonna put that in my head, are you?
stuff going on here. And then the last two episodes are mainly a segue into Season 3, but had Eli learning Slug Fu, so it gets a pass. Season 3 is where you can tell they tried turning everything up to 11. All the character stuff with Junjay, the villain being an immortal, magic-wielding emperor, all the lore about Junjay's ancestors, everything is shaping up to be the
Yeah, everything's Junjay. I get that. But now I see the pattern.
best season yet. It would have been, if a lot of the episodes weren't back to Season 1 style of nothing big happening until the end. With 13 episodes, I'd say 6 of them were plot related, and the rest were honestly filler.
So it's half and half. But also it's like, so we went from 39 episodes to 7. Then 7 episodes to what's the next one?
Eastern caverns don't bring anything too new to the table, so these episodes could have been mistaken for Season 1. That's mainly my biggest issue, but it's a decent sized issue, I believe. And Season 4 is merely 4 episodes of Black's kid showing up out of nowhere and doing some evil stuff, and nothing else of note. They almost had a good idea with Eli becoming a teacher figure for someone new to this world.
Which is nice, given how long Shane's been there. But one thing about Shane's that he's like what? He's not even like he's a young adult at this point. But it's also odd to think about.
But obviously we had to have an evil son, whoa. And this is the note the show finished on. Lame. So yeah, these 4 episodes were kind of rough, and I think it was because of Black's child being the bad guy. Tad is the worst villain in the show by far, only because he was so boring. Dr. Black had a lot of aura, and we did see a lot of his backstory, making him feel more like a well-rounded character. The Gould Goondock was a cool twist, and an interesting idea to go with. And the Emperor just had a lot of personal ties to Junjay, and was satisfying to see get taken down. Then Tad is just there. Due to the short runtime of the season, we didn't get enough time to like Tad before he turned on the Shane gang and made it a real gut punch. And then when he does betray everyone, all he wants is to pick up where his daddy left off. It's all so
It's like riding your coattails.
boring, and a huge whimper for the show to go out on. If I haven't made it clear by now, I have very mixed feelings about Slugterra. It's equal parts good and bad, entertaining and boring. And the neat art style can't save the whatever plots that happen later on. Seriously, the animation actually won me over in the end. I didn't care for it at the start, but came around. Another jarring point was that a few of the voice actors play characters from Ninjago as well, and boy do I have a history with that show.
I have heard of this technique, but I have never seen it.
Wait, okay. Given that I just did 2 videos on Ninjago, which you should be wondering if I'm going to do another one, yes and no. Just give me a break. I'll just guess this voice right here. Okay, so... Nah, that counts.
I am impressed.
Hey, it's Vincent Tong. This video took a lot longer than I wanted to come out, because Slugterra was just burning me out, man. I'm so glad I'm finished, and I never have to see that bum Pronto ever again.
Yep, shout out to Tom Critic for his video on Slugterra, which I should my mind is thinking I should watch these shows again, but I'm thinking to myself, what? Never mind. But however, I did say I was gonna watch certain shows because one person who actually made my first comment actually commented on one of my Ninjago videos saying that I should react to a video of I should watch Ninjago season 8. But I decided, but then again, my mind's like, okay, I'm going to watch everything from the from the pilot episodes all the way to Dragon's Rising Season 4. I'm just now finished with the pilot episodes. So now I have to get through Season 1, so hope that goes well with anything else. So anyway, I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you all next time.